Top new technology that will impact your life. Technology is rapidly advancing, and it waits for no man or woman. We are slowly approaching a new world in which anything that we can conceive in our mind can be conceived into reality. As of now, there are new technological innovations that are springing up every day and threatening to change the fabric of life as we know it. This is Morongo TV, and today we're going to be talking about new technology that will most definitely impact your life. If you're interested to find out what the world of science and tech has been cooking up, make sure to stay tuned. Number 2 and number 1 will blow your mind to bits. Number 10, 3D printers. 3D printing is reaching a point where it simply cannot be ignored any longer. The advancements in the hardware, software, materials, and applications suggest that 3D printing will eventually become yet another manufacturing technology, and you better be ready. What is 3D printing? Well, with a 3D printer, you can build any solid thing in 3 dimensions with the use of liquids, powders, and other types of material. You can build anything: a crown, a bag, a pair of shoes, a soccer ball, you name it. Professionals suspect that we'll be able to print cars and houses very soon. Careful there, change is closer than we would expect. Naturally, the adoption rate of 3D printing will increase over time, with some areas of administration and work like dentistry almost entirely switching to 3D printing. That might mean less time sitting with your mouth gaping wide in the dentist chair. The growing awareness of 3D printing and its benefits will facilitate this growth. Of course, with every great technological development comes the stuff that the bad guy can use. Diamonds and other stolen things could easily be replicated, so they wouldn't be feeling panicky for the fear of being caught. In the meantime, the competitive 3D printing landscape will require companies to differentiate themselves from competitors by leveraging their unique expertise and developing a clear value proposition. Considering the recent progress of the technology and these expert predictions, 3D printing is clearly headed for a bright future of digital, smart manufacturing. Number 9, virtual visor. If you're a driver, then you're familiar with the annoying glare of the sun in your eyes when you're trying to drive. The world is rethinking driver safety and satisfaction by creating one of the most overlooked interior components of a vehicle into the spotlight with the virtual visor. The sun causes twice as many car accidents as any other weather-related condition due to temporary blindness. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reports thousands of sun glare-related car accidents each year, and several case studies prove that the risk of car crash is much higher during bright sunlight than normal weather. The traditional sun visor is not equipped to adequately address this safety concern. At best, it blocks some of the sun from your eyes, but along with it, some of your view is blocked as well. The virtual visor is offering a solution with the revolutionary Virtual Visor, a transparent LCD and intuitive camera, which replaces the traditional vehicle sun visor completely. As the first reimagined visor in nearly a century, Bosch's technology utilizes intelligent algorithms to intuitively block the sun's glare and not the view of the road ahead. So your eyes are shielded from the sun, but not from the view ahead, which you need to have. Imagine the decrease in sun-related accidents. Wouldn't that be awesome? Number 8, Pocket Talk. The future of translation and interlingual communication has begun to rapidly evolve. The Pocket Talk is a small pocket-friendly device with which you can translate any language within the range of the 74 languages that it accommodates. Pocket Talk Translator makes it easy to hold conversations in different languages and can really help break down barriers when you're traveling for work or pleasure. But it's at the pricier end of the market, so you might need to make sure it supports the languages you need before investing. The device is fast and intuitive, and ready to go at a moment's notice. Imagine what you could do with just that. Of course, this affects a particular profession in humans. Translators and the job role will slowly begin to fade out. Presidents who go all over the world with a translator attached to their hip would no longer need one. All they would need is their Pocket Talk. Tourism and traveling across countries would no longer mean limiting language barriers. It would be a whole new world. Evolution and development, we can say, comes at a costly price. Number 7. Cultured meat. If you don't like it when your food is messed around with, this might rub you wrongly. Over the years, the rate of global meat consumption has almost tripled over the past 50 years. This is partly due to the overall population growth all around the world, but it is also heavily brought on by increasing per capita consumption of meat in middle-income countries. Godfrey et al., 2018. Professionals predict that meat consumption would need to rise to a further 70 to 100% by 2050 to meet demand, requiring a growth in production that experts consider to be unsustainable. The production of meat from livestock is associated with a huge drain on resources, such as fresh water and animal feed, as well as producing large quantities of greenhouse gases. The widespread use of antibiotics in livestock farming is also credited with growing antibiotic resistance more broadly and poses a major concern to epidemiologists. There's also a lot more awareness and interest in animal welfare and agriculture that will continue to influence farming practices. The process of fattening and then leading to the slaughterhouse is one of the most natural yet questionable traditions in humankind. The first lab-grown burger was formed of 20,000 muscle strands, grown from muscle tissue taken from cows in a minor procedure performed under anesthesia. A single sample from a cow is enough to produce up to 80,000 quarter-pounder patties. Imagine the glee on Mr. Krabs' face when he realizes he doesn't need SpongeBob or Squidward. That is precisely how nearly every business that deals with meat and food just might rejoice. The composition of the burger is actually incredibly unexciting. It's just meat. The cultured meat is basically the same tissue, but made in a slightly different way. You take the cells out of the cow, and we let them do whatever they were doing in the cow, but now out of the cow, so you can make it more efficient and more sustainable. Of course, this leaves an unanswered question. Many, actually. What happens to the livestock when we have no use for them? Many people are rightly so terrified of having their meat cooked up in a lab, but we do eat a lot of processed things these days. It's only a step further in the direction we've always known. Number 6. Virtual reality. Virtual reality, VR, has been around for quite a while now, since the mid-1980s actually. Isn't that surprising? The first goggles and gloves were invented by Jaron Lanier, the founder of VPL Research in the 1980s. Now, decades later, that invention is still thriving, and has even creeped into the mainstream, so much so that anyone can afford to access it. You might have had the chance to use virtual reality or see it in action, maybe at a theme park, a virtual reality center, or do you have a friend who owns a headset and you take a turn? Although at the moment, virtual reality is more common in the gaming and entertainment industry, particularly with consoles and handhelds to better adapt games for virtual reality and ultimately the gaming experience. There are only a few things a gamer would want more than their games. Among those few things is the ability to be completely immersed in their own gaming world. Good luck getting them to listen to anything you have to say. VR is also beginning to revolutionize other industries such as healthcare, retail, and education, which is already aiding tasks in this sector. From helping patients with anxiety to relax, and helping students learn more by experiencing what they are being educated on. The future holds so much for virtual reality and the things it can do. Number 5. Genome editing. Gene editing is a technology that allows us to make changes to genes in the DNA and in the cells in the body. If we're talking about human beings, typically we're talking about changes that are related to health or disease at this moment. Who knows? The world is awfully vain these days, so it won't be surprising if gene editing starts chipping into beauty and aesthetics. There are several types of gene editing tools, but CRISPR is by far the most popular one. CRISPR is interesting because it wasn't invented. It actually exists naturally in all sorts of bacteria. It evolved as a sort of immune system that can fight off viral infections. Just like we can get viral infections, it turns out bacteria can get viral infections as well. And so bacteria created a system by which they can fight off viruses. So that's where CRISPR came from. Over the past couple of decades, a variety of very talented scientists identified it, discovered it in bacteria, and then were able to adapt it into a gene editing tool that can now be used in human cells. Imagine a whole generation of human beings that have been genetically edited or engineered so we can withstand certain diseases and infections. To be honest and kind, that sounds kind of creepy. Do you think gene editing is kind of unethical and downright creepy? Number 4. AI, artificial intelligence. At this point, and thanks to Hollywood, everybody knows what artificial intelligence is, at least to an extent. The most recent objective and infatuation of technologists focuses on man-made reasoning, or as we know it better, artificial intelligence, AI. That a machine can have a kind of general thought processing like a human does is one of the most sought-after breakthroughs at any point proposed by science. As far as the challenges these innovators will encounter, it is equivalent to other extraordinary scientific objectives. For example, establishing the root or origin of life or the universe. In ongoing hundreds of years, this enthusiasm for building these machines has prompted the development of models or allegories of the human brain. In the 17th century, for instance, a scientist pondered whether a complex mechanical arrangement of apparatuses, pulleys, and gears might copy thought. After 2 centuries, the similarity had become phone frameworks, as it appeared to be conceivable that their functioning could be compared to a neural network. Today, the predominant model is computational and depends on the advanced PC. Of course, it goes without saying that the existence of artificial intelligence will thoroughly wipe out the need for any human employees in the years to come. That only does more harm than good to the human race in the long run, if you think about it. The prospect of artificial intelligence and creating man-made intelligence seems awfully thrilling, but let's just hope that Hollywood is wrong on the Robots Take Over the World initiative, because that would be pretty unfortunate. Do you think it's possible that artificial intelligence could one day turn on human life? Share your opinions in the comment section down below. We would love to hear some of them. Number 3, 5G. There's nothing humans love more than speed and supremacy. The arrival of 5G will not only bring that, but will also transform tech and also provide an entirely new mobile experience. The wireless technology is being introduced with the primary aim to reduce maintenance cost and energy consumption. 5G is expected to deliver speeds of up to 100 times faster than typical 4G technology. As 5G technologies have been continuously evolving, it will certainly change the way we spend our lives. Our communications will be faster than you can imagine, plus our connections will be stronger. 5G comes with endless possibilities. Imagine a future that thrives solely on 5G connected factory devices that speak to each other, mobile internet connected to multiple devices at the same time, different vehicles communicating with the roads on which they travel, and accessibility of information at unprecedented speeds will come to mind. This goes without saying that the new generation of technology opens new opportunities for telecommunications service providers. The arrival of 5G, the 5th generation network, has been the talk of the town lately. The beautiful yet scary thing about 5G is that it can be used in almost every aspect: medicine, entertainment, food production, and science. You name it. Number 2, autonomous driving. Self-driving cars. You've seen them in the movies, the video games, in music videos, in the futuristic sci-fi books, and pretty much everywhere else these days. The world is slowly adapting to the fact that cars will soon drive themselves, and even more efficiently than humans possibly could. Automation in cars has slowly gained momentum in the world of technology and innovations. Today we can find all sorts of driver assistance in vehicles, to reverse assistance, parking assistance, and the like. Tesla has paved the way for driver-assisted self-driving capabilities like the Tesla Autopilot. Who else agrees that Elon Musk and Tesla are in a whole other league together, period? This self-driving generation of cars would be so advanced that they could even take automation into aircraft permanently and sea vehicles. We already have self-driven ships, and it would be interesting to see the technology incorporated in vehicles like that. Number 1, predictive and precision medicine. The world of healthcare is currently undergoing an internal transformation that cannot be ignored. Although slow, the transformation is happening, and it's important to incorporate new and developing technologies that could elevate the standard of healthcare provided to humans. Recent scientific breakthroughs and technological advancements have improved our understanding of disease, and they have changed the way we diagnose and approach disease, leading to more precise, predictable, and powerful healthcare that is customized for the individual patient. Genetic genomes and epigenetic alterations appear to be contributing to different diseases. All humans ever strive for is perfection and innovation. Predictive and precision medicine is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what technology can do for healthcare. We've come to the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for 7 years of good luck, and stay tuned for more Morongo TV.